welcome back to my kitchen. I am Tina with Hanging with Frugal Tina. Thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate every last one of you, and I appreciate all the comments that I get. I do read each and every one of them. So the other day, the kids and I were trying to figure out what we wanted to have for dinner. I let them have input in their dinner because, hey, they got to eat it, and I'd rather they like it, right? So we were talking about spaghetti, and I was like, well, what kind of spaghetti do you want? And they're like, what, right? Well, there's regular old spaghetti, there's taco spaghetti, there's this spaghetti, there's that spaghetti. What kind do you want? So it got us to thinking that there's a lot of different ways to make spaghetti outside of just pasta sauce and a noodle or a pasta or whatever you guys call it. So we decided to do a little mini series on different kinds of spaghettis that we can have. I haven't decided if I'm gonna mush them all into one or just make a series out of it. But that's what we're doing today. We're doing the first one, and today we're doing cowboy spaghetti. So let's get it, let's go, let's hit the pots, come on. Here's everything you're going to need for tonight's cowboy spaghetti. A package of spaghetti. It says 12 ounces, but I'm going to use the whole thing. 8 bacon strips, 1.5 pounds of lean ground beef. I have it defrosting over there. This is just here, so I have it out. A large onion, a can of kidney beans, a can of tomato sauce, a can of ROTEL. Only we're using a generic brand. Chili powder, W sauce, ground cumin, oregano, garlic powder, and 3 cups of pepper jack cheese. Obviously, that's not 3 cups, but that's all I had, so I'm going to mix it with other cheese that I have in the house because real life, this is what you do. What I'm going to start with is I'm going to cook the bacon and start boiling the water for the pasta. Okay, so we're just gonna put some of this bacon in here. And we're just gonna brown that up. So I don't think you need to watch me do that. Oops. But that's what I'm doing right now, browning up the bacon, and I started the water boiling for the pasta. While the bacon's cooking, I'm gonna get to chopping up the onions. Okay, so we're almost done. I've been pulling the bacon out because we're going to use this bacon to cook the hamburger meat and the chicken in. But you want the bacon crispy so that you can crumble it. Ooh, that one was too crispy. Ooh! Almost burn it. All right, I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so to the bacon grease, I'm going to add 1.5 pounds. Mine is a little bit more because that's how I froze it. I turned it off because I don't want to get splattered when I put it in. It may look a little bit off color, and that's just because I had it sitting in a Ziploc baggie in some water to defrost a little bit. So it's got a bit of a funky color to it, but it's okay. So we're going to brown that up. We're going to add the onions, but let me brown this up just a little bit before I add the onions. It's still quite a bit frozen. That's why I don't want to add the onions just yet. It's like 3/4 of the way defrosted. So let me cook this down a little bit and I'll be right back. So it's mostly there. I'm going to add my 2 onions. It calls for 1 large onion. I did not have one, so I did 2 small. We're just going to brown these. Whoops. Before we start adding any seasoning at all, we're going to brown this all the way through and let the onions soften. Still got some frozen bits in there, but we'll get there. Onward, forward. Okay, so now that it's all crumbled, I did remove some of the grease, or almost all of the grease. We're going to add a can of kidney beans, drained and rinsed. we're going to add a can of ROTEL, juice and all, a 15-ounce can of tomato sauce, and I'll add a little bit of water to that to get all of it out. The recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of chili powder. I'm not into the spicy, so we're just doing the 1. A teaspoon of cumin, a teaspoon of garlic, a teaspoon of oregano, and I'm just gonna drop, whoa, that was more than I thought in there. And 2 tablespoons of the W sauce. 1, 2. I'm gonna give that a nice mix. We're almost done, guys. I mean, look how easy this came together. I'm gonna heat this through and let it simmer for a few minutes, get the flavors marrying together. I don't think there's anything else we have to add until we start putting it together, and that's, I gotta dice up the cheese. All right, so let's just warm that through. I forgot to mention, this is supposed to be done in a big old iron skillet. I don't have one that big, so we're doing it like a casserole. Okay, so that's all heated through. I turned it off for just a minute while I drained the pasta, got that ready again. Okay, so I'm supposed to add the pasta to the skillet. Obviously, I can't add a pound of pasta to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the pot that I boiled the pasta in, because we have to mix everything together. So let me reconfigure. Okay, so I put a little bit in the bottom, and then I'm going to scoop some in there on top of it. All right, so I'm going to take my giant ladle and put about half of it in there, and then I'll put the rest of the pasta in and give it a mix. Let's give that a little mix first. I'm going to add the remainder of the pasta in there. And then the remaining mixture. Hopefully my pot's big enough, because you know I always need a bigger bowl. Let me get that mixed together and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I have some here and I have some over here because it's just too much. It calls for pepper jack cheese. I only had 1 block, which I shredded. I'm gonna keep that for the top layer because that's really what was intended to be in here. What I'm gonna do now is use what I have in the house. So I have some leftover Colby Jack that I'm gonna put in there. And it calls for 3 cups. Some of that. I'm going to add a little bit of the cheddar in there. Oh, that was way too much. And we're going to stir that in. What I'm going to do now is, because I don't have a pot that can go from here and into the oven, I'm going to put my casserole dish here so I can pour it in. Okay, in here is half of the mixture. I mixed the rest up in the other pot that I have off camera. I also got ahead of myself and I crumbled the bacon into the pan. I don't know, hold on. It's in there, okay? So that's gonna get mixed through this as well. Half of the bacon. So I'm gonna pour the rest of that in here so I can mix it through fairly well. Let me tell you, this is making a lot of food. So we're gonna top this with the pepper jack cheese and the rest of the bacon. Holy moly, that's a lot of food. I bet you they eat it too. Every time I think I made too much food, they eat it all. I also made one for Eric with his plant-based over here. So it made quite a bit. Okay, so let me get the other cheese. Says the pepper jack, it was what it was supposed to be all the way through. I shredded up that block of pepper jack. Well, I kind of shredded it up because it was frozen. It kind of just did its own thing. Then we're going to take the last of, hold on, stopped in the middle of a sentence, but I wanted to get the cheese around. I know, pardon the hands. Now we're going to take the last of the bacon that I have, and we're going to crumble. I'm crumbling it in my hand. As you can see, my hand's got it in there. Let me just scrape out this pot real quick. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crumble it in my hands, if it crumbles well anyway. And we're going to sprinkle it all over the top. Ooh, I feel some heat. Oh, it's the oven. We're just going to crumble it across the top. Didn't want to crumble. My hands are all greasy now. Yuck. I hate that feeling. Am I the only crazy one that doesn't like things on their hands? All right. So that's going in the oven. I don't know how long, but for 350, I'll let you know when it comes out. There she goes. She's looking. I'm not going to say it. We're going to do it. Ready? She's looking. Yummy! 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 We can't wait to eat. So I'm going to see you at the table.
If you get any benefit at all from my content, you can help me out by clicking like, share, commenting, and definitely hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video.
We're at the table! I can't wait. I have not sampled it. Eric took a tiny sample earlier because I was worried about it being too spicy, but that was a while ago. He hasn't tasted it since. So we're gonna see what's going on with this, with the pepper jack cheese on top. Let me get a little bit of the meat and the beans. And I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. If I don't like it, I'll tell you why. Because just because I don't like it doesn't mean you won't like it. And just because I like it doesn't mean they will. You got a lot of sketties hanging there. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Go. Mmm.
Mmm.
That's different.
Different but good.
Yeah. What? Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. I like it. I like it a lot.
Me too.
As I'm sitting here, I'm getting a little bit of a kick, but I don't know if it's from the cheese that was on top or the chili powder I put in it. But it's not much. And if I can handle it, anybody can handle it. Let me try it without that pepper jack cheese, and I'll tell you. Sorry.
It's good.
Mm-hmm. Mmm. Now it's the pepper jack cheese that I was eating. I got a taste of bacon in that one.
You know what?
Got a nice little hunk of it. Maybe we should sit here and eat and not feed the others.
Yeah.
Yeah? We'll eat the whole thing? All right. I heard All right. Let me get them fed and I'll see you at the wrap up. Bye-bye. I guess he's not giving us a bye-bye.
Oh, bye-bye.
Tyler, what do you think?
Good.
Yaya, what do you think?
Excellent.
Aiden?
Amazing.
Nick, what do you think about it?
Good.
Oh, I just hiccuped. Dinner's over. How do you think we did? Did they like it? Did they enjoy it? Or did they hate it? Boom! They loved it. Every time I think I made too much food, they prove me wrong. Now, the serving The servings on this recipe was for 12. There was 9 of us, so we did eat a lot of it. So hope you give it a try. I hope you like it. Leave me a comment either way. Don't forget to smash my face below and like and subscribe. It does help the channel out. See you later. Bye.